31 days of Halloween. Each day I will recommend a new Halloween movie for you to watch. It may be an old Halloween movie for you, but it is not a new Halloween movie. But since it is the 5th of October, I will review and recommend five movies in this video. Number 1, Waxwork. This movie is starring Zach Galligan, not to be confused with Zach Gilligan of Breaking Bad. The movie was released in 1988. Also starring David Warner. By the way, Zach Galligan was in Gremlins. David Warner was in Titanic and Tron. Also that guy who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings, und Indiana Jones, und a little person, as you see in the poster there. This movie is an anthology with an overarching story. So a bunch of teenagers will go to the Waxwork, and there is exhibits featuring different horror stories, such as one is a vampire, one is a werewolf, one is a zombie, and the characters get caught in the exhibits, and then they each partake in the story of the exhibit. So they are, for example, the one gets involved in a vampire story, and the other gets involved in a werewolf story. I took a class in English and English pronunciation, so I learned how to pronounce, correctly, lose the German accent. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1986. I was born in 1977. I didn't see it until I was in my teens, and it's one of the best revenge movies I've ever seen. It's starring Dennis Hopper, and he plays a guy whose sister got killed by this whacked out family, and so the whole movie is about him getting revenge, him getting into it, finding them and to kill them all. It's basically about a guy who basically wants to jump into hell and kill the devil. So yeah, I love that. It was amazing. And it's also very comedic. Some speculate that the director, Tobe Hooper, he wanted to make this the movie all along. Even with the first one, he sort of wanted it to be comedic. And I think this was the first movie starring Bill Moseley, who ended up being a cult horror actor. It's funny because this sequel did the same thing that Evil Dead 2 did, in terms of making the sequel more of a comedic kind of thing. And this came out before Evil Dead 2, so it makes me wonder if either they copied them, or it was just a good idea when you make a sequel, because how the hell are you supposed to make a sequel to a classic other than make it a comedy? And it's still scary as hell. It's got comedic elements, but it's also scary. Number 3, American Werewolf in London. I didn't see this until I was a teenager. And it's also hilarious, but it's also scary as hell. It's probably the best horror movie ever made, and it's been copied in numerous movies since. I'm sure it did its fair share of copying, but it's worth watching this movie if only to be like, oh, they did this, oh, that movie I've seen has copied this movie. And the transformation, when he transforms into a werewolf, is one of probably the best, the quintessential werewolf transformation. Number 4, Dead Silence. Scary as hell. I even at 48 years old, I wouldn't watch this movie alone. Aside from the cheesy, cringe performance by Donnie Wahlberg from New Kids on the Block, this movie is terrifying, and it's really evil. Finally, number 5, The Frighteners. starring Michael J. Fox and produced, I think, by Robert Zemeckis. So you see a lot of use of his obsession with CGI. So he was a pioneer in CGI, which he used in Forrest Gump and all that stuff, the Polar Express. And so he has a lot of fun with that stuff. And it's funny, but it's also spooky. I wouldn't call it scary, but it's spooky, and it's got a good atmosphere. It's a good Halloween movie because of its atmosphere. It's not as good as Ghostbusters, but it kind of should have been a classic. So there you go. I'll do a new one every day for the rest of the month. If you have any suggestions, write them in the comments, and maybe I'll do one on that instead of whatever I was going to choose. And there's something under your bed.